Kohi. I'll get on the screen just a moment to give you your dote. I have a rare tracking moment where my hand isn't being weird. Finally. I mean, I'll just move over to the stream room because I'm not playing games. We're just doing a study stream today. Hi, Kohi. Let me give you your dote. First dote of the day. They're not sure where they want me yet. I could be like pantry, prep, or something else. Ooh, well, what position do you want to have at the restaurant? Hey, Red Grapes, how's it going? Look, look! My right hand, it's doing this. It's actually doing this normally. I don't know why, but it's actually doing it normally. I could princess wave and whatnot. But I can actually wave normally up until my arms start getting a little bit weird with the tracking. Red Grapes, I'm doing good. How are you? I had a slight headache today, but I took Advil and I'm fine now. I tried to nap, but it was unsuccessful. Let me move that down. And now we're just gonna, I want to do like a relaxing, maybe, hopefully less headachy coding stream. Hopefully this doesn't give me more of a headache. And I just, I've been exploring this one website I found on TikTok called codex.io, and it looked really cute, and it's supposed to help you with your coding journey, so I wanted to check it out and whatnot, and do some challenges while we're streaming and just chill and chat with y'all. If I got it my way, desserts. Prep wouldn't be taxing, I don't think. Ooh. I feel like, honestly, I've done waitressing before. I didn't love it. It's alright. But I wouldn't mind I mean, as long as you're not working like at a really high stress, you know, high-end restaurants, I feel like it could be fun. I don't know. Have you ever watched Bear on Hulu? Yeah, let me show you guys the website. So this is like, it's really cute. And there, you might have some little inkling of some spoilers of my 2.0 because I decided to put my 2.0 in here. Or at least a profile picture of my 2.0. So it's a little leak right there. I'm currently watching the second season of Bear, but I really enjoy it. Mostly because I do like the main actor, because I did watch a lot of Shameless a long time ago. I never finished Shameless though. It went on for a bit, but I never finished it. But the stress they kind of show when it comes to like high-end Michelin star like restaurants and stuff like that, I was like, yeah, I'd cry. I think I'd break under that pressure. So hopefully, you know, I don't think as long as the kitchen isn't a stressful environment, I feel like I'd be okay doing prep work and whatnot. Will I do it fast? No, I'm a home cook. I didn't learn how to professionally like and quickly cut prep food and stuff like that. I do it very slow, but I also have very shitty knives. Like, I don't know how to sharpen my knives whatsoever. Not like the really proper way to like take care of knives and shit like that. I probably want to buy a new knife set, honestly, and then try to take care of it. But I want to do like the things where you get, you know, like an actual whetstone and actually take care of them and stuff like that. Anyways, so this is like the kind of like the front page of the site called Codex, codex.io. It's really cute. It's very pixel art central. If you saw on Twitter, I just hatched I decided to do the 30 nights of code, which is basically every day I do something with coding. And it's supposed to help with motivation and my journey while becoming a developer, programmer, and whatnot. And I didn't know the first day, once you post your first day, they want you to submit like your progression post that you make on Twitter, and then it technically feeds your companion. So I decided to name it after Donnie, Umber, or I decided to name it after his username that he likes to use. I found a green egg. Green is his favorite color, so I named it Umber, and it's inspired off of Tamagotchi. It's really cute. So I fed him today, and then he hatched, and he looks like the little dinosaur from Bubble Bobble, and I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect. And then here's your daily progress, and you can see like my posts I submit and whatnot. It's really cute. I think it's very motivational. Hi, Matt. Look, my right hand's working normally. A very rare occurrence. Let me make you guys just a bit smaller real quick. Wait, well, let me make you let me make you bigger so I could give Matt his dough. Hi, Matt. Mwah, welcome to the stream. How are you? How was your day? How's your evening? But yeah, I showed Donnie. I was like, look how cute it is. And he's like, aw, it's me. Don't let me die. And I'm like, okay. And you can feed it, you know, like how you would with Tamagotchis. It's really adorable. And then these take you to like, this takes you to the GitHub, and this takes you to like the Instagram post is about it and whatnot. So that's really cute. And they have like, they explain it here, like what the 30 nights of code is and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? I want to participate in this. I've already been doing, I'm trying and keep trying doing my best to just code about every day or do some studying, even if it's just even light studying, reviewing, whatever it is with coding, or which is right now JavaScript for me, every day of the weekday. But I haven't been doing it on the weekend, and I want to do better at that. And I think it's because, like, the weekend I tend to go, like, oh, I just want to decompress the whole weekend. But coding is really a lot about repetition, and I want to keep at least doing light studies of it on the weekend as well. It's just that sometimes I put so much on my plate on the weekend that I tend to forget about, you know, doing other productive things. It's actually been productive, just finishing touches to a tiny update video, and worked out and did groceries and did some important emails. So I feel like I did something for once. Well, it sounds like a very productive day for you. Yeah, my headache is gone. The nap was unsuccessful, but I did lay down. I just lay down watching TikTok. But I did take Advil when I didn't take the nap. I was like, I'm just gonna take an Advil, so it's gone. The staticky headache is gone, so I'm good now. I think that's a good schedule, though. Keep the weekend for yourself. Yeah, but I do think because because coding is a passion I do really want to get into, and it's really hard to retain it in a way, because there's so much to coding that you just, like, it's really easy to forget if you don't keep using it kind of skill, I feel. But there is, the thing about coding is that I always try to do my best to remind myself is that it's not expected, or at least I hope it's not. At least a lot of people say, like, it's not expected for you to remember every syntax, every thing about coding. There's so many rules, especially when you start dipping into other coding languages. It's like, it's okay for me to look up what I need to know to make something work in a code. Like, I don't need to somehow search deep dark into my memory to try to remember how something works, because that would just drive me insane. So, but I like to just try to keep a good practice and just light studies during the weekend too. So I thought this would help me with that, and maybe even go past the 30 nights of coding. I forgot to get more water. I don't feel like I have a burnout from coding, but I feel like I will have a burnout from life in general, which kind of typically happens. Because coding is something I really, really want to do. Because being a programmer is something I really want to do. Developing things is what I really want to do. So I don't think I have a burnout on that per se, but I will just probably have a burnout because I'm working a full-time job. I'm editing videos. I'm streaming. I'm meal prepping. I'm adulting. I'll probably just burn out from that in general. But I don't think I'll have a problem burning out in coding because it is something I've always wanted to do. And I love the idea of creating something out of it. And then they have their little Hall of Fame, which is really cool because they mark like how many people like completed it and then how long they kept going even after. I like that they show how long people are going, like this person's 319 out of 30 days of coding every day. Like I said, the coding doesn't have to be intense coding every day. It just has to do something with coding, even if it's a light brush up. So I'm not going to hold myself to be like, oh, I gotta like code a whole project every day to keep up with this. It could just be light coding, or like even challenges like here, like this is something I'm gonna mess with soon, and they're gonna have a lot coming soon, and some other ones that they have. This is all like what they have to offer right now. Like C++ is something I'm gonna want to go into after JavaScript, or once I finish my web development bootcamp. I do kind of want to touch on Python. They do have memberships for more access to stuff, which makes sense because, you know, they got to keep the server and keep the website running somehow. Can't be, not everything's for free, but they have a lot of options so far for starting. There's still a ton more that they could add, obviously, but I like already what they have to offer. I think it's really adorable. And like I said, you could have your own profile. This is an update quickly, so you could like, you know, talk about, you know, what you have. It shows your pet cafe, shows your total, like how many stuff you've learned, how many times you logged on. You could even post your projects here as well. If, you know, I know you're into coding as well, Shumo, so I think this would be a really cute site for you to also, you know, want to get in if you want to. The community seems really awesome as well. Like, this is they have like challenges, there's posts, so it acts as like a social as well. So like people, you could see all these posts, you could follow people, so it's its own little social platform as like a bonus. They have monthly challenges. So it's really cool. They even have upcoming events, you know, that I really am looking forward to actually trying to participate in some of these. A lot of them is around 3 p.m. I'm still at work, but I might be able to flex and not pay attention to work for a little bit to do these and whatnot. Blue Sky doing its job. Oh, are you coming from Blue Sky? I haven't been posting very much on socials. I'm a little bit low on motivation and content creation right now. They even show your posts, some project showcase if you want to post your project. Look at all these other projects people are working on. You could look at them, maybe get inspiration, maybe learn their code, understand coding more. They have a question of the week, which I answered this one, which is whether you're in school or self-studying, what keeps you focused? And I said throwing my phone somewhere where I have to inconveniently get it, because I'm starting to believe I have a little bit of a scrolling addiction, because anytime like I feel like I'm struggling on learning something, or like I'm stuck on a code or how to fix something, I immediately go to scroll because I need to get the frustration out by like distracting myself for a second. But sometimes I take too long to break away from my phone, and it kind of disrupts my focus a lot. Many years ago, I'd done C++ and HTML coding for a class, but I don't remember anything. It's a lot. It's a lot to remember. It's so much. Coding has so much for you to remember. And a lot of the times, or at least the instructors I've been listening to have often say that, like, you shouldn't really worry too much about what to remember. Like just, it's kind of like, you know, like riding a bike in a way. Like, you'll kind of get an idea how to write the code, but you don't need to remember every nitty-gritty about how, like, the formula of the codes work. That's something it's okay to look up, because it's going to be insane for you to remember how to set up every formula code and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Just as long as you understand what the code is doing and not copy and pasting the code and then just hoping for the best kind of thing. But that, if you didn't utilize it, just like with any other skill, just about almost any other skill, because like I said, everyone, once you learn how to ride a bike, you kind of remember how to ride a bike. That skill just doesn't really get rusty, I guess, for some reason, but certain skills like this can get rusty if you don't practice it every day, which is why they probably have this challenge, 30 nights of code, to kind of keep that consistent of using your skill and whatnot. Kuro, hi Kuro, how's it going? How are you? I follow a feed that gloms onto my post that mentioned JavaScript, TypeScript node. Oh, okay. Ever seen anime VTuber JavaScript dev before? Well, I wouldn't say I'm a dev, but I'm very novice level. I literally just learned in baby rookie level of JavaScripting right now. I'm trying really hard to retain everything I'm doing, but at the same time not to stress too much about it, because it's okay, again, it's okay to research. It's okay to look up the things again. Because sometimes I'll sit there, I was like, I forgot, did I need to put parentheses at the end of this? Because sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. There's actually, if you're not too familiar with the VTubers, I actually know a lot of anime VTuber mutuals that are really into coding as well. Some of them are actual developers. I'm like very itty bitty developer right now. I haven't really developed anything of my own yet. I made my own website. I didn't really finalize it though, because then right after I learned the CSS and HTML, I went straight into JavaScript, and I just kind of delved into it, and then I didn't do anything with the website stuff yet. But I did make my own website, so I kind of quote unquote developed my website. Totally not me. He says nervously watching this, doing video and also finishing mobile dailies. Hey, we're multitaskers. We like to multitask. Half of learning dev is learning how to Google stuff properly and remember syntax. Yeah, a lot of it. And like, there's so many times I find myself I stress the hell out of myself when I can't, like, I think I talked about my crash out earlier this week. I do a lot of studying from a range of things. I study on Code Academy, I study on Udemy. Now I'm gonna use this as a supplement for studying. And I just finished on Code Academy the loops. So for while, do while, fors, whiles, and stuff like that. And I try to do their practice every day, every single day, except for weekends, which is what I'm trying to improve on. And there was a loop question, and it's one of those things like, oh, how do you get time from the variable string that they had? And I didn't understand it. And it was on Monday. I think it was on Monday. So I just had a weekend of not doing any coding, so I started freaking out because I was like, I just learned this last Friday. Why can't I remember how to answer this question? And I immediately had like that 150 mile per hour crash out thoughts where I was like, oh my god, if I can't figure this out, how I'm gonna be a developer, how I'm gonna be a coder, I can't remember shit. And then I forget, like, you know, I need to calm down. I was like, I'll just try. Like, I didn't look it up at the time, but when I took a breather, I realized what the question was asking me, and I figured it out. Except I still got the answer wrong because I kept forgetting. I keep forgetting that the arrays start at 0, so I miscounted. So I selected the wrong answer and accidentally added an extra T to time when I answered the question. But I understood it after going through a slight crash out on Monday. And then I sat there and I was like, I need to stop over-stressing myself about these things, and I gotta be, like, even though there are questions and it's like in an exam format, I gotta be okay with researching it if I forgot. It's okay. That, like, again, there are so many rules and so many formulas and so many different ways to code that I might prefer one way of coding and just didn't remember the other way that they're presenting to me. And it's okay for me to look it up. And then as long as I understand what the hell I'm looking up and what the format of it is, then it's fine. Definitely remembering syntax. It's killer to go through 1,000 lines of code for an hour just to find the issue was just isn't that it's such a common one. JavaScript is a weird one to start on because whereas a lot of languages are strict and disciplined and makes you learn certain methods and approaches, whereas JavaScript is like an aged hippie, which is like, do whatever, bro, whatever works. And I'm starting to kind of see that with, again, all the different formats it has. I don't know. I did try to touch a little bit of C++ last year around this time. I got I was getting through the, like, beginning of it, but I can't remember how strict it was. But I could kind of see, like, I don't know if it the whole, because there's different formulas of, like, the way you could write functions in JavaScript. There's like 3 or 4 different ways to do it. And at first I was so used to the first way of writing functions, and I liked how you could write functions the first one, and then they had all the other ones where it's like, oh, well, you could add this, and this could be where your parameters or whatever could be. And then you have an arrow pointing to your thing. And I was like, what is all this extra? And I guess that at that point, it's just a preference of how you want to format a function and whatnot on that side. So it's like, do whatever works for you there. But like, if you are very specific on remembering one kind of way of writing a function, you might completely forget how to write the other functions because there's 2 other versions of functions you could write. And so I could see how that's a little bit perplexing sometimes, because when I was so used to seeing the regular function and they started giving me the questions in Code Academy will start giving me how the other functions are written out, and it would just like confuse the hell out of me. But now I'm kind of sort of used to looking at different functions now, and I'm even used to writing it in that kind of in a certain function format now. I don't even remember the specific names for them. I just was like, you know what, they kind of made me in a habit of doing this way, so now I'm just kind of doing it this way. But on the other side, cross keys, it's really cool that Blue Sky worked really well on that. That's actually really impressive, I have to say. Sorry, I'm rambling on quite a bit. I should have got more water, but I'll go get water like when the next break hits. So in about 30 minutes, because I forgot to refill my whole water. It's just about empty, and I'm rambling a lot. Proskies, what language are you proficient in? JavaScript or in other languages? We were gonna do. I wanted to try out more of the challenge. I kind of went into 2 of the challenges. I went through the conditionals, and I kind of did. I did this one. For the, just to kind of give myself a refresher, since I've been doing loops the past week, so I wanted to kind of like brush up on the other stuff that I've learned previously. I will say though, the website is it's a little slow on running your code, but it does work. It's just a little bit slow, and then it writes it out right here, nice and shiny. So then if I write 7 and I want to run it just to make sure my other one works. It was kind of fun doing these challenges early because I was like, oh, I haven't done conditionals in a little bit because I've been focusing on loops. I'm a very slow learner. I do try to study I do most of my studying when I'm at work, but when work is busy, it's hard for me to study. And then when I get home, I tend to not study because I'm already a little bit burnt out. So it's a rare occasion where I do these streams to actually study because I'm actually feeling a little bit more motivated to go into a little bit more of my study. And then I did this one. I think I did 2 out of 5. So speaking of restaurants, Kohi, this one was talking about Michelin stars today. Ow, rude. So we have, in this one, I used the math floor. This is the one where I kept fucking up. This is what I mean, because I always forget that you do need these parentheses here for the random. So at first I didn't have it, so it kept saying invalid. And then usually you want to test it a couple times to make sure it is logging your other ones. And I realized it kept saying invalid, so I had to open up. I opened up my sources or my console on my Google to run it for me. And then I realized it's because I was missing these stupid 2 parentheses, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm an old Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP dev who moved to JavaScript, TypeScript, and trying to expand on something that compiles like Go or Zig. I haven't heard of Go and Zig, but again, very new to this part of the industry. So, I was gonna say, I didn't even know about PHP until recently. Do you prefer doing JavaScript over PHP? I didn't hear a lot. The one TikTok that, well, you know, TikTok listens somewhere. I had a TikTok about PHP and how, like, why learn JavaScript when PHP is better? And I was like, I didn't even know what the fuck PHP was. So I'm just curious, since you're someone who's done PHP, do you have a preference between the two? I assume because you moved to JavaScript, you like JavaScript more? So this one works, you know, so one Michelin star is worth walking to. I've never been to a Michelin star restaurant myself. Has anyone? I always want to, at least once. Would like to go to a Michelin star. 2 Michelin star is worth driving to. 3 Michelin star is worth flying to. Well, I don't know if we'll get 3 because it should be completely random since I'd used math random. And then we'll go to the next one, which I haven't done yet. In many parts of the world, we look forward to Friday to kick off a weekend of leisure. Very true. Well, unless you work weekends, like when my last job. It was more like, thank God for Sunday for me, since Sunday was my last day of work when I used to work on 12-hour and back-end night shifts. Some express this with TGIF, short for thank God it's Friday. Let's use conditionals to tell if the weekend is upon us. First, define a day variable with a number between 1 and 7, and so 1 represents Monday, 2 represents Tuesday, and so on. Based on the value of the day variable, use conditionals to log one of the following. If it's a weekday, log not Friday yet. If it's Friday, log TGFI. If it's a weekend, log yay, weekends. Otherwise, log wait, what day is it? Honestly, I feel like I am the last one a lot when time is flying, because we're already in November. We're slowly edging our way into 2025, and that kind of freaks me out. 2024 went by very quickly. I'm trying to remember if there was a faster way for me to type out all of this. Because I have an idea how to type it out. I just can't remember if there's just a better way to do it, honestly. I don't think there is. So let's do let day equal. We're going to do math floor again. Math random parentheses times 3. Sorry, not 3. The max. So 7. Then plus 1 so we could get rid of the 0. I try to say those out loud so I can remind myself as to why this code is doing what it is, because otherwise, well, I wouldn't remember what the hell I'm doing. Because I had to look this up again because I forgot how to get rid of 0 from the generation. So I was like, I did it backwards. I put the plus 1 in here times 7, and I was like, oh no, it's the other way around. When I looked it up after I realized I couldn't figure it out. Hey, Blank God, how's it going? Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are you? PHP is weird beast like JavaScript. There are some of the oldest Web Central languages still in use, and both are languages that were created when people thought the web was just going to be used for server-static HTML files forever. So they're both burdened us of redundant functions and new features that have been hot glued on over the decade. I love the way you describe that. Is it? I don't think it's something I'll go into. I feel like if I was going to pick one of the two, I'll just stick to one of the two. But I don't feel like it's personally at the moment worth for me to go to the other one. Like, there's no point of... If I pick JavaScript, I am sticking to JavaScript. And vice versa if I had picked PHP. So I feel like it's like... I feel like once I do JavaScript, I kind of either want to move on to Python or I want to move on to C++. I'm not sure if there's another, like, intermediate one I want to jump into, or if that jump is okay. Wondering for your opinions. Hi, Zeno. How's it going? Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. That's a pretty good summary of PHP, honestly. Hey, I see a Rama emote. Oh, and Pix. I was going to say, I know that kitty cat too. Pixo. Both cuties. Yeah, I didn't know PHP existed, and Krosky's here has done PHP, so I was just curious of their opinion about it, because I've had some TikTok where people said PHP is better than JavaScript, or they're just about around the same level, which Chris Keys kind of explains seems like about the same level. I sometimes a little bit worried that if it's JavaScript was something I should have jumped in, or maybe I should have just jumped into Python. But at this point, I'm kind of like committed. I feel like I gotta commit to JavaScript at this point, and then I'll move on to the next one. I will feel better if I just commit to this rather than trying to skip around and confuse myself more, you know? And then just so I know, because Codec's website is a little bit slow in running code, I'm just gonna run it on a different web browser just to make sure that what I'm writing is working. I'm gonna open up Google's for that one. They have different jibs. PHP is strictly server-side, by which I mean that by the time you've loaded the page, PHP has done all its stuff and it's finished, whereas JavaScript can run in the browser and do other stuff. Ah, okay. Alright, that makes sense. I get that. I've done full-stack development from PHP to JavaScript and almost everything in between. Do you have a preference, or do you just also feel like they're more or less similar enough, I guess? Where's my Google? Oh, it's on my screen. Got it. So inspect source. Just want to make sure my thingy's working. Also, the first language is always the hardest. Languages have different rules and quirks, but they all have variables, and they pretty much all have functions and for loops and strings and numbers and booleans, etc. Yeah, that's why I get told a lot that the first language is going to be rough, like no matter what, because after that it gets a little bit easier since they're not severely different unless someone wrote a whole new language with whole other like they change variable to a different word and shit like that, or it would have to be vastly different. My eye's like really itchy right now. Oh wait, I need a console log day so I can see if it's working. But yeah, because they all have, you know, the similar vocabulary and what they mean almost just about across the board, it gets a little bit easier after that, after your first language. Okay, I see I got 1 through, it looks like it is running 1 through 7. Okay, and then so I think, okay, so at first I was just gonna write like 1 equals Monday, 2 equals Tuesday, but I think if we're doing conditionals, we could do if day, no, is that gonna work? If day, I was gonna say if day is less than 4, does that work? Because if we're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays being the 5th day, so it should be if day is less than 4, it's not Friday yet, if that makes sense. Am I thinking that correctly? So instead of having to write out all the days, because at least in my web development bootcamp, the instructor says you try not to do too much repetitive work and just try to shortcut it as much as you can. So if day equals 4 less than 4, then console log not Friday yet. If I remember correctly, I want oops. Do I want to do this first, or do I want to do the other one first? Because I know since it's JavaScript, it executes it line by line, which is something I try to keep reminding myself, because sometimes I screw up or I forget about that, and then I realize that there's something wrong with my code. It's because I forgot that it executes line by line. Because if I'm doing it equal to, I think you need to do the equal to first and then the others. So if day, so actually so if day equals, no, you're good. Each have their own advantages, and most website and applications use both with PHP, C#. Do you guys say C sharp, or C pound? I think of sharp every time because of piano. I can't remember. C sharp. On the back end, handling more resource intensive operations. Best left to the server, while JavaScript, TypeScript can handle lighter requests on the browser. There are some newer stacks like MERN, MERN, MongoDB, ExpressJS, React, and Node.js, or MEAN, MongoDB, ExpressJS, Angular, and Node.js. Sorry, I'm just reading all of that. This is making me flub my words. Which are lighter and avoids backend languages altogether. Ah. Okay. I'm trying to like absorb exactly what you're saying, so sorry if I sound very blank. Because I only know, I recognize what Node.js and React are. I am not familiar with MongoDB or ExpressJS. Is that Express JavaScript? I just want to reiterate, I'm very new to the industry, so so I might not have more of an articulate response other than oh until I start delving more into the industry. So it's not that I don't, not to have any misunderstanding if I like, not that it's find it boring. It's more like I just don't know much about it, so I don't have any more thoughts on it. But that makes sense with with each of their own having their advantages, since that's kind of like what all the languages are about. There's just some languages that do better than others. Some languages that are compilers. Some languages that are, what is it called? I watched my web development bootcamp made me watch it. It was like compiler versus something. And it was a very old video talking about how what JavaScript does in terms of executing, and then what like C++ does, which is more about compiling. I forgot what the other word was. But it was fun to learn. I'm trying to suck all the water out of my can. Personally, I use PHP a lot with frameworks like Laravel since it makes development a lot easier. Can you like describe how, like elaborate on what makes it make developing easier, if you can? We talk about stuff in terms of stacks. Most stacks are like Symtic? To render the web app, something to run the server, it lives on, something to store the data. Oh, something. Sorry, I was like, I couldn't figure out what the typo was. Sorry. Something to render the web app on. Okay, that makes sense. Something to run the server, it lives on, and something to store the data in the database, and the thing it all runs on, which explains the whole full stack developer title, I assume. If day is greater or equal to, I don't know. If day equals to 5, then I'm just gonna copy their, because I think if I remember correctly, I have to do the equal first. Else if day is greater than greater than 5, console log. It's so hard to type with these gloves sometimes, with my hand tracking gloves. It restricts my finger movement a lot, so my hand feels really stiff when typing. Oops, what did I do? Console log. Yay, it's weekend. Speaking of weekends, do you guys have any plan for this weekend? I don't think I have to go into work tomorrow, but we'll have to see. Oh, hello. All-J! Oh my god, motherfucker. I said stop gifting subs. Do I have to time you out again? Thank you for gifting Curl a sub, you crazy bastard. And nice freaking fish. Like where I said LAMP earlier, Linux is the operating system, right? Apache is the web server software, MySQL is the database, and PHP renders the web page. Ah, okay. Gotcha. That makes more sense to me. I wish I kept my Linux certification. I wish I actually did more of my Linux certification, honestly. I'll have to go back and relearn Linux if I want to actually use the operating systems and whatnot. So Laravel uses Node and npm to help speed up development. Instead of writing a lot of functions or code myself, I could just install pre-built application codes and reference to help with what I'm doing instead of doing it all myself. Downside is, if the pre-code build is up to date with everything— oh yeah, I could see that. That makes sense. But I also understand the convenience of that, because coding's a lot. Writing lines of code or making I love the idea, like me, romantically as an idea, I love the idea of building everything from scratch, but I know eventually that will get very tiring. So that's understandable, but then you do have to rely on people updating it. Not any different from like when people do mods, and like for example, Final Fantasy 14 mods. The modding community, crazy. Love them. They do some crazy ass shit. Even though it's against the rules, but I don't personally mod my Final Fantasy 14, but I love seeing what people do with the mods. But like, you know, people rely on the mods. You know, they don't have to code it, but they could just, you know, copy whatever they download it, implement it into their client, blah blah blah. But if it isn't up to date, they rely on the modders to update it as soon as possible or when they can. Otherwise, it just kind of breaks their whole game. Hi, AJ. How are you doing? Speaking of which, you're back on Final Fantasy 14. Only took you... Wait, where are you anyways in Final Fantasy 14? Else if your mama smells like... Wow! That's fucking rude. I hope you never meet my mama. She gonna kick your ass, Helix. Should have gotten my AWS web certification back when I was doing all the server stuff for one job and basically certified in all. But name, forgotten most of it now. I think I am so... I don't know what I'm gonna do next year. Because next year I have a lot of my certifications are kind of going to expire. And I haven't done any like... I haven't done any of the, what are they called, like CUs or whatever to like keep them. And I'm like, do I let them expire or do I actually try to keep them? It's not, they're not anything crazy. I've already let my Security Plus expire, my Linux Plus expire. I think I still have my network. I have my network plus, I have my server plus, I have my A plus. And I think my A plus is expiring next year and I'm trying to figure out if I want to spend time on trying to keep it or not. So I'm just kind of like, I was gonna learn a lot of cloud certification. I was doing Azure for a bit, because I did want to get into cloud, but then I realized I actually wanted to give coding a shot because I love creating. I'm an artist when I want to be an artist. When I actually want to doodle, I doodle. I've always loved doing art. I always loved creating. I love video games. So I was like, why don't I try coding? And I was always afraid of trying coding. I always thought I would just like really fail at it or I'll just never get anywhere with it. But that obviously was not helping with my, you know, pursuing it. So I was like, I gotta stop thinking that way and actually try because I won't know until I try, you know? So here I am. You skipped? How much did you skip? Where were you when you skipped? So you're like, at the beginning is Dungeons as a Reaper? What did you skip? Did you skip all of Endwalker or? Cause that was some good shit if you did. I don't even pay attention to story and the one time I did, Endwalker was great. It wasn't as great as Shadowbringer to some people, but it was still really good. The one time I actually paid attention to story. I'm not gonna ream you for not paying attention to story. I was just gonna say I'm really surprised if you did. Oh my god, if Tater was here. Shadowbringer and Endwalker is like the community's favorite expansion, I believe. No, at least majority, it is everyone's favorite expansion. I think Shadowbringer was a lot of people's favorite, and Endwalker was just the cherry on top in terms of ending a chapter, but not the best at the same time. So the fact that you skipped both of them is crazy. Don't get me wrong, I didn't pay attention to a lot of Shadowbringer's story, because at the time I was more, for a long time from ARR to Shadowbringer, I was only caring about the gameplay. So I didn't pay attention to story. So I can't really scold you for that. I'm just saying that don't let any other Final Fantasy 14 people know, because that was the best story for expansions. I'm just saying, I'm just warning you. It's more of again, not scolding you, just warning you. Been looking into getting network and security plus search. Would you say they're worth it? Well, so the certifications I took were the CompTIAs. So it really depends how you feel about CompTIA and if you feel they're worth going through to get them. I went the very basic way of when I got into IT, and that was with A+, and then moving on to like all the other certifications I got. I generally thought Security Plus was very fun. Personally, it was probably the most fun certification I took. I had the most fun with it, at least. Like, I could see why a lot of people want to get into cybersecurity. It's a very fun course. Networking, I just did because, well, it's kind of good to understand network infrastructure in general. I still wouldn't say I perfected it because, again, a lot of the certifications are good at base level just knowledge, but if you're not practicing it, you tend to lose it. And I'm not really in a networking. My current job right now is data center engineer. And if you're familiar with that, data center engineers only really do physical stuff with servers, the working in the cloud, basically, and stuff like that. So we don't really touch anything with the network and stuff like that. So I haven't really got to use my knowledge that when I got my certification with network with it. So it's hard for me to say whether or not it's worth it. And that kind of applies with any other certification. If you I'm sure if you got the certification and actually applied like real job experience with it, they're all worth it in my opinion. But if you didn't do anything with it afterwards, you know, it's just kind of a dead certification in a sense. It just, at that point, it just shows that you're willing to learn new skills and can pass exams and stuff like that. So, if you're really wanting, if you're actually going to branch with those certifications and actually get your foot, or somehow get your foot in the door with it, then yeah, I would say they're worth it. Again, totally varies if you could actually utilize it. I'm 37, I went to college at the worst possible time. They had realized web dev was different from computer science, but not how, and that we're convinced that the future of the internet was Flash. I decided not to go to college because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I didn't even get into IT until I was around 24, and I still think about how, like, man, I wish when I was like 8 years old, I wish I got into coding, because like I'm 31 now and I feel like I'm so late to the game, but I'm still trying, you know. I'm late to the game, but, you know, better than never, in my opinion. Also, hey, Aries, how are we going? Well, we're talking about two different things. I'm doing some coding, and then I was, like, listening to what AllJ was fucking around with his Final Fantasy 14. Apologies for the typos, phone, keyboard, and stubby fingers. Hey, no, I have small fingers. Look, I have small hands, and I still type a fuck ton on my touchscreen keyboard. I hate touchscreen keyboard. I wish I could have a sidekick again. I text way faster when I had a sidekick. Way less typos when I had a sidekick. But phone, I don't know how, but I always fuck it up. I think I just have really stubby thumbs, and then the rest of my fingers are skinny. I don't really know. I don't know why, but that seems to be a thing for me. He keeps subbing and I can't stop him, and I really wish he would stop. And I keep yapping, so I need to type. I need to do a little bit more coding. If day is less than 5, I think we can do greater than less than 5, right? I always get confused when if it counts 5, but I think that's only when you do equal to 5. So we're gonna do console. I will say studying and streaming, while it's fun to chat and study with you guys, I definitely have trouble multitasking when it comes to... I can multitask tasks when I'm not chatting with people, but when I'm chatting with people, my productivity goes down. Because I'm too busy talking to you guys, and I can't type and think at the same time. It's just, I think, the way my brain processes. Because, like, I could cook, I could do laundry, I could feed the cats, I could play Hearthstone, all of that. I could do all of that all at once when I'm downstairs and not talking to people. But as soon as I start talking to people, my brain's like, what was I doing? I immediately get way more lost. Let's see if this works. I think this is the last thing. If I did it right, it might work. But yeah, I transferred to Crystal. But it should generate a number. And it should have a floor, so it should be a whole number. And it worked in my... It worked on my other thing. Maybe I could do less or equal to 4. It should be a whole number. It should be generating a whole number. It generated a whole number when I tested it in the other one. So why is it saying set to a whole number? Thanks for the input. Might focus more on web security as that relates better to what I do. Which, that makes sense. That makes sense. Since you, as you said, you've done like PHP and JavaScript and stuff like that. You could probably pick apart some parts of Security Plus, if anything, for that. I don't know if there's very specific security, web security based ones. Security Plus is definitely more a generic baseline of security. I'm on Primal. I'm on Primal. I reckon I was expecting you to type day equal 3. But it says define a day variable with a number between 1 and 7. So that means I could use a number generator, right? But let me just... Gross. Look at AJ here with his fucking elitist mentality, calling a whole... Primal is the... apparently the most... what is it? PvP server? I don't really care for that because I don't do PvP that much. Well, at least my data set isn't... Is it Crystal the one that has all the Erpers? I forgot. I think Crystal does have all the streamers, though. But thank you for the lurk, Zeno. I really appreciate it. We'll try to study hard. I don't know. But I was gonna say, because on my other one I used the math function. I used the math stuff, so I thought that it would be okay for me to do it again. I think I broke it too. I need to refresh it. So let's see. I guess let's just do 3. See if that runs it. Did we also check if... Well, I like how it still ran it. Did we also check if day is equal to 5 exactly? I did, right here. Right? I'm not crazy, right? We did check if day equals exactly 5, it's thank God it's Friday. Maybe he wants me to type out 5. Well, I mean, it's working, but I don't think it likes that I'm doing that. I was on Aether at Gilgamesh, but then my brother switched as well because he decided to help sister and her fiance and friends with dungeons. Aw. But wait, I assumed that was back then before data center crossing was a thing. I mean, you could have just, I mean, it's nice. It's always nice to be on the same server with your friends so you don't have to do data center crossing. Never switch back, so here I am in Crystal since they are too. Fair, that's fair. I wonder if it's not expecting you to know about strict equality. Try if day... I thought that was... Is that... I didn't even know if that was a thing you could do. I thought you always had to do strict... not equality. Equality? No. Am I saying it right? Let me try again. No, it's still saying... It's still giving me the error. I thought it always had to be 3 equals. At least from everything I've done so far with it, I've always seen 3 equals. Equal signs. So the trio siblings are now all in the same data center. I need to catch up. There's a lot for you to catch up on. Oh yeah. You know, it's okay. I'll tell everyone that you skipped 2 great expansions. At least I got 50% of it. But hey, I hope the new expansion is basically a new fresh chapter start. So if you're paying attention to that, I hope you enjoyed it. I liked it. I enjoyed it, especially the tacos. But I'm gonna chalk it up that I passed this and that it is working though. So like if I put like 3, it already said not Friday. Oh, let me put 7 just to see if it gets my weekend. I'm gonna chalk it up that I did pass this. It might be it. Oh, it might be the reason why this has 4 dislikes. Maybe because I don't know what's going on, but my code is working. But it's still kind of pinging me as if I'm doing something wrong. So that kind of makes me want to... Did I paste it? No, I didn't. I want to kind of... I just want to check if my original one was working. And close, but slightly different. Remember I said that JavaScript has redundant stuff? Other languages are much stricter about variable types. Ah, okay. I feel like that's gonna be I feel like that's gonna be a little bit more refreshing when I go into another language, huh? I'm just gonna check this in my Google. Just to see if it works. Oh wait, I also want it to console log day so I can see what number it's producing. Yay, it does work. Okay, so my code does work. I'm just gonna chalk it up as to they might need to improve how it decides to accept your answers, I guess. So like day equal 5 means day is a number with the value of 5 and day, right. But in this case, because I was trying to do an if conditional, I guess, okay, I see what you mean now. Because unless they wanted me to actually have like, well, it would be no, I wouldn't be changing it. I see what you mean though. Oh, we're gonna have the break. I just realized the break was in progress. I'm gonna go get more water real quick because I said I was gonna get more water when my break occurs. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oh my god, it's so cold downstairs. I'm trying to get my gloves back on. You don't own that ball. I did on me. Okay, I did. Two equal sign doesn't care about types, but 3 equal sign does. So if you use 2 equal sign, JavaScript tries its best to convert it into a relevant type. Ah, okay. I never used the double one so far. Do you, Kohi, do you own all the balls? Let X equal these, yeah. Should we make a joke with coding with that? Just like when I did, if she breathes, she's a thought. If she, or wait, all All women are queens. If she breathes, she's a thought. I literally made that for fun, just to toggle yes or no. I was gonna say, I haven't had any practices that made me use just like the double ones. Or too much around messing with that. I could change the theme. Oh, I can change the theme. But yeah, I'm gonna go if I pass this challenge. It just the challenge didn't let me pass it. But it works on my my other thing, so it works. Okay, for most of the 20th century, various trends and world events gave each decade its own personality. In American history, for example, the period from 1920 to 1929 is remembered as the Roaring Twenties. Here's a breakdown of the nicknames for major decades. Roaring 20s, Dirty 30s, Fighting 40s, Fabulous 50s, and Swinging 60s. Was that really all the... I only know about... Honestly, I only knew about the Roaring 20s. I thought Dirty 30s we just said for when we turned 30. I didn't know if that actually refers to the time period. Triple equal sign is an example of a new feature being hot glued onto meet the ever-increasing demands being placed on the language. Oh, it's so like a little... Like you said, hot glue or a band-aid as a weird way to somewhat keep up. Define. We gotta start saying that now. What? Dirty 30s? What does fighting 40s mean? Like, are we gonna be fighting? I mean, what if I've been already fighting for my life? Define a year variable with 4-digit number. Use conditional statements to log the nickname based on it. For example, if year is set to blah blah blah, output would be. So I guess for this one, I don't think I could really do anything like super crazy with it. So we're gonna let year equal 1926. Just putting that random number. Hey Thomas, how's it going? I'm doing great, thank you for asking. We're just doing some studying today, some chill coding using this website I found on TikTok. Let year equal 1926. So if year... I forgot, how do we... I'm trying to remember, how do we even do a range? Trying to remember. Going good. Just got done playing some Remnant 2. Gonna head to bed soon, but always gotta swing by here when you can. Aw, I appreciate that. How was Remnant 2? Did you have fun? I'm not gonna lie. I know the name Remnant 2, but I can't remember what the gameplay's like off the top of my head right now. I am brain farting to hell. I'm just trying to organize this where I could still see chat. Well, I could still see chat over here, really. I'm just used to reading chat on my other screen. Swinging 60s. I'm swinging at hoping to get retirement, maybe. JavaScript. How to... what would I even call this? How to define a range? Does that make sense? I'm gonna lie. Have you the AI overview that I've been getting from Google has been very fascinating lately. It's like a Souls like with guns. Oh, okay. There's no native way to do range. You need to check greater than and less than. Oh, right, with the right and so. So would it be like forgot about the ands. So it would be like if year is less than or equal to, right? If years, because we need to get it between the two, because this would technically be in the roaring 20s if I'm just going to focus on that for now. So it would be if the year was less than or equal to 1929 and year is greater or equal to, no, I wrote the same one, equal to 9, right? I always, when I'm reading this, it always confuses me. Right, because 1929, you want it less than 1929 to stay in the 20, and you want it greater than 1920 to stay in the 20. Right? Is that how, did I do that right? Let me check. Console log roaring 20s. Else, I'm just gonna shortcut it. Else, console, just to finish this, console log. Year out of range. Anytime I'm reading out like greater than or less than, I always, it sounds wrong in my head, so that's why I'm like questioning myself, like, does that sound right? So it should work, right? I should get confettis. Oh, my arm's all kinds of fucked. Okay, well, it's still doing that thing where it worked because my code went through and says roaring 20s right there. But it's still saying as if I did it wrong, so I'm gonna chalk it up as I did it right. But I'm gonna write the rest of the codes just cause out of practice. I'll just delete the else. Trying to write mid code really fucks me up. Oh wait, you went through your second playthrough in front of it? Oh, through the DLCs. How many hours have you put into Remnant 2? But yeah, I totally forgot about the ands. This is why I like doing these challenges, because it kind of refreshes me of the options I have. Else if year is less than or equal to, I did the greater number first, 1939, and greater or year is greater or equal to 1930. Ooh, those are some nice hours you're logging in there. How long is the gameplay, like, average? Wait, you could play that with your friend? Or am I thinking it's the first Remnant that you couldn't play with your friend? Remnant 2 you could play with your friend? Every now and then, I still have to remind myself if greater than or equal to is... Yeah, I always have to look at it. I'm like, wait. I, like, look at it really close, like, Oh, what? Oh, you know what? Now I think I remember Donnie was excited for Remnant. I'm not sure if he played Remnant because he was like, oh, I could play this with May. Then he realizes that I suck at Souls-like game, and maybe he just never brought it up again because he doesn't want to play with me because I will bring him down. I would struggle at least. Sorry, that's not where I wanted to end that. I wanted a curly bracket. Console log. But maybe I should ask him if he actually wants to try to play it sometimes. I don't know. I can see myself enjoying Souls like, cause there was that one game me and Nova demoed. Was it last year? That was like the cute. It was like very low poly. Was it low poly? And it was a Souls-like, and you could play with friends. And I was like, I like playing Souls-like with friends. It seems more fun with friends than playing it by myself. Else if year is less than or equal to 1949. And nope, those aren't and. Where's the and? And year is greater than or equal to 1940. And console log fighting 40s. Else if year is less than or equal to 1959 and year is greater than or equal to 1950, console log I want fabulous 50s. I hope I have a fabulous 50s. Fabulous 50s. But considering that we might have a swinging 60s, I don't know. If year is less than, whoops, or yet less than or equal to 1969, and year is greater than or equal to 1960, console log swinging 60s. I can't wait for the swinging 60s. We got a little ways to go before we start swinging in our 60s. Else console log year out of range. So I'm just gonna pick a random, I'm just gonna put it in the 60s, 1966, and I'm just gonna run it, see if it works just fine. There is a class that gets a dog that well, it got my swinging 60s, so I believe my code is right. I'm not sure why the errors are coming up. I don't know if I'm not writing it in a very particular way they want me to write it, or it's just not unable. It might be just something they might need to work on the site. But there is a class that gets a dog that does that sell UI. Well, Donnie loves doggos, so I think Donnie would probably have that more than me. I love dogs too, but Donnie would absolutely be the one that has a dog. That's the first class I maxed. What's the class called? I did medic, but then that was the second one. True, the other parts of the ride would be good too. I just hear math. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna run it one more time. We're gonna go into our fabulous 50s. I'm gonna go down the line. We did the 60s, we did the 50s. I just want to make sure the code runs it and it grabs the fabulous 50s. Look, fabulous 50s. All right, so let's go into the fighting 40s. There was a it's sort of math. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'll pull up Code Academy to show you which practice question I hate, but it's a very particular one where they want you to like take the letter of the array to write out, like, for it to compute into a different word. It's very confusing. I think no, sorry, not in an array, in a variable. So like if the variable said, like for example, one was if the variable said stressed, they're like, oh, what does this formula output? And it has like the whole fucking freaking format. And basically what it's doing is it's grabbing stressed backwards, because stressed backwards is desserts. But I still don't understand. I understood how it got it. I just feel like I'm miscounting something because I don't understand the formula per se, because we usually start at 0. And I think it's supposed to take away 0 because it didn't say desserts. It said, I think the answer was dessert. So it was missing 1. So I think somewhere in the formula took away where we didn't count the 0. I just don't understand where in the formula where it took out the 0. And it's probably one of the +1s now when I think about it, because of remembering how I did the random math thing, math random method. I did my 40s right. Okay, let's do the 30s. Showboating time. Imagine an array called decades with all the names in it. What, with all these names in it? Why not make it run 5 times by clicking once, add a counter for a number of times run, and add a while loop? What do you mean by clicking once? Loops still a little bit loopy with the format with me sometimes. That's why I was like, sometimes I needed to kind of study on it a little bit longer, which is, we're gonna go into loops after this. After conditionals, we'll do loops. But it got my dirty 30s and I have my 20s, so I check this out as it's working. But the website or this challenge doesn't like me, so we're gonna move on. I do want to save some of these practices I'm doing into my Visual Studio Code just for me to reference. So I'm going to open up my Visual Code real quick and just copy and paste in a file. So we're going to paste that in there for reference. The ones that fuck me up more are nested loops. Nested loops, I hate them. They confuse the fuck out of me. I had to write down, I can't do nested loops in my head at least. It gives me a headache. And then there's the, I think, was it a nested one? I had to break it down. I had to do the math and I had to break it down line by line for me to understand why it outputted the number it did, because it went from 0, 1, 3, 6, 10, if I remember correctly, and I just couldn't do the math in my head. I had to write it. I had to write out the whole code just to make sure I understood what the fuck happened, because it was confusing the hell out of me. I don't know, sorry, that one wasn't a nested loop. That one was just like, it was one of those cases where like x equaled nothing, but I changed into something every time. And then when it did the x plus something, it changed x on another one while adding it to the new I and shit like that. It was just freaking hurting my brain, but I get it now. Fitness routine. Exercising and having a fitness routine is so important for our health and quality of life these days. There are many kinds of exercises that can be a little intimidating to start. Why don't we use conditionals and random numbers to help us... ooh, excuse me. To help us pick an exercise and make it fun. Create random number variable that generates a random number between 0 and 3. Okay, they actually wanted me to do 0 and 3 at this time. Console log, decades, math floor. Decades, math floor, day. The day slash 10 part is, well, anything after math floor. So day divided by 10 minus 900. Am I reading that correctly? So day and then minus 900 and then divide by 10 and then minus 1? Is that how that's written out? I think I have extra key for Remnant 2 base game if you or Donnie would be interested. Where are you getting these extra keys from? I mean, if you really have the extra keys, that would be so generous of you. I think we would really I would love to play that on stream with him. I love when I could include Donnie in my streams. All right, you like to do. I really forget about Humble. I really forget about Humble Bundle. I really should check up on that more often. I would love to play that with Donnie. I think he would enjoy it too. I'm pretty sure. Donnie, have you played Remnant? Have you played Remnant? The Souls-like, but with gun? You have played it? Oh, wait, yeah. The first one and the second one? Okay. He's only played the first one. If you heard him. Sorry if I was yelling in your ears. Remnant these... Okay, Audrey. Yeah, I know Humble Bundle's really good, but I just kind of I kind of forget about it. And lately, I've been using as a streamer and content creator. I've been using Lurkit and Keymailer to get keys. But Humble Bundle's different because obviously I'm not gonna get keys for Remnant on there. But Lurkit and Keymailer is good for like new games coming out and indie games and stuff like that. It turns the year into an array index. So 1920 and 1929. Yeah, no, 1929. Why does that sound weird? Becomes 0. 30 to 39 becomes 1, etc. etc. Oh, I was gonna say that whole format hurt my brain reading that. I will say I hate math. You really should look at the Humble Choice membership. It gives out games each month. Wait, how much is the membership? I might consider it. Alright, let's try this out. Let random number equal math floor math random times 3. This itself should be 0 to 3, right? I'm gonna check on here just in case. Zero, 1. Nope, sorry, because 3 is the max, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3. So I need actually 4. I always forget that. That's why I always like to check. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yep, okay, yeah. So now it's 0 to 3. You should play Omega Crafter. It uses the basic concepts of coding in a survival open world game. That sounds, that actually sounds really fun. That sounds cute. Omega Crafter. I have to look that up. Hold on, let me check. What kind of coding though? Like any coding? Or I assume they have to pick one language. Or how does that work? Adventure in the vast open world survival craft game with your programmable sidekick Grammy. Program the Grammy to collect materials, build your town, craft your weapons, armor, and challenge strong enemies. Play alone or with friends. Interdasing. Is it like code? I forgot what they're called. Not code blocks per se. Code graphs? Is that what they're called? Is that what it is? Or is it like actual writing in like code scripts and stuff like that? But still, it looks cute. I'm gonna add that to my wish list. Oh look, Nova has it on their wish list. It looks adorable. I'll definitely take a swing at that at some point. I have too many games on my docket right now. 10 euros a month and 109 per year. That gets you 8 games per month, and you also get a discount. Ooh. I don't know if I could do that. I have so many subscriptions right now. I don't know if I could do that right now. Plus, it's just gonna overload me with games, and then I'm gonna go in that weird. I don't know what to play. Ah, okay. So it is like a code graph, I assume, which is like something similar to like what I mess with in VNAN, I imagine. But still, that's still pretty cool. I was gonna say, how many games do you have, Thomas? And how many of them have you actually played and finished is another question. Let's see. Use a conditional statement to log one of the following. Okay, so if 0, so if random number Have you ever heard of space engineers? That's honestly, it actually sounds kind of familiar. Are we talking? I don't. It sounds very familiar, but I don't think I've seen it. me see. Space Engineers is a sandbox game about engineering, construction, exploration, and survival in space and on planets. Oh, this came out not 19. It came out in 2019. Players build spaceships, space stations. I've never seen this before. I feel like anyone who likes space games would have played this. Planetary outposts of various sizes, uses pilot ships, travel through space and explore. I really liked Starbound. I feel like I would actually like this too. I'm a sucker for sandbox games. I love building, exploration's very fun. That does seem kind of fun. Can you have a server with this game? Maybe we should go. We should all go to space. You guys want to all go to space together? I've never heard of it before. I was like, it sounds familiar, but I might be thinking of a different space game. But I like the idea of going on, doing all this space stuff. It's just adorable and uses the very best of coding. I know my old map had like one buddy cutting wood, picking up wood, and taking to box 1. If box 1's wood, take to box 2, and all that good stuff. Automation, man, at its finest. Probably worked a lot better than Palworlds, maybe, since you couldn't really code or program the PAL and Palworlds. That sounds a lot easier to manage, technically speaking. A little bit more tedious to start, but it gets the automation a lot more fine-tuned, I would imagine. Such mean questions, but a valid one. I do play. It's not mean. It's a genuine question. A valid one. I do play most of them, at least ones that don't interest me. Sorry, I give gifts or sell. I like that you do that. Oh, sorry, I have a phone call real quick. Who's calling me? I don't know whose phone number this is. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I figured the phone number did look familiar. It was my work calling. We have some activity going on tonight, so I was just making sure I answered them so they don't get too confused. But yeah, I think it's really. Oh, let me take off. I think it's really cool that you know, the games you don't interest me, you give away. That's very nice of you. Some people just keep it there in their dust. I'd probably do the same, honestly, because like I would rather, if I know I'm never gonna touch it or even give it a shot, I might as well give it to someone who actually is interested in it. The reason I bring it up is because it's BLOC, builder with planets and spaceships, and it has logic blocks. Logic blocks! That's what I was looking for. I was saying like code graphs, so I couldn't remember. Logic blocks for controlling what you build, and advanced logic block that make you. Oh, I didn't know. That's actually really cool then. I kind of want to do that. I actually might be interested in messing around with Space Engineer then. That sounds really fun. Other explorations would be like No Man's Sky. I know No Man's Sky had a lot of shit when it came out, but I do know that it's done a lot better now after, you know, it improved on itself. But I just haven't gotten around to see if I actually want to try No Man's Sky. Many of those are free games, which that's probably the biggest perk. So do you pay it monthly or do you pay it yearly? I think I watched Markiplier play it for a bit. What, the Space Engineers? Yo, if Palworld used automation like that, oh dude, if Palworld did go more advanced in coding your pals with logic blocks and stuff like that, it would have been 1,000 times better. Palworld's problem with their automation was like, you know, it just didn't, I mean, when it came out, it was still like, they were still in the works for it, but it was definitely it was pretty wonky. It's pretty fucking wonky. People built missile-guided systems? What? And that's fucking dope. I mean, I logged on to obtain the Halloween skin. And that's it! First Descendant will be getting Jiggle Physics, by the way. What do you mean, getting? Did it not already have Jiggle Physics? First Descendant is the one with all that booty, right? You did upgrade your M.2 to a 4 terabyte. Oh, that must have felt great. I was happy when I upgraded my M.2. Well, sorry, I didn't upgrade. I just have another M.2 because I didn't feel like dealing with moving it over to all the other things over to it. But yeah, I guess this one is just, I guess I could just write out if random number, equals 0. Console log. Right? That's all they're asking me to do, right? 10 push-ups. I can't do 10 push-ups. I haven't been working on my upper body strength. I really need to work on my upper body strength more. Else if random number equals 1, console log 10. I also hate sit-ups. I honestly hate push-up and sit-ups. They are agony for me. I'm not very good at them. I got too much chub. It's pain. I was gonna say, if prices go up and if things are gonna go with the whole tariffs and stuff and prices go up, if you guys want to upgrade your computer this year before it might potentially get crazy expensive next year, it might be time to, you might want to like consider Cyber Monday or go to your Micro Center or wherever to get parts. I don't even need to upgrade, but I'm thinking about getting it just in case I do want to eventually upgrade or something, like maybe some RAM. I don't know if the RAM's going to get expensive. But that's just a potential thing you guys might want to consider if you are planning to upgrade at any point. I think I told Tata the same thing because she said I don't know why I added more curly bracks there. Because I know she wants to build a computer and everything like that. So like if prices are going up and you want to upgrade your PCs or whatever you want to do with your PC anytime next year, you might want to get those parts possibly this year. And if there's actually sales, Cyber Monday or Black Friday. I might get some PC parts. Again, I don't really need it because my rig is pretty strong right now. I don't think I need to upgrade anything currently. Like, I should be good for another couple years. Else if 10 squats. Else if or I could do else, right? Because only thing that's left is 3. So 3 would be whatever's else. Right? So let's run that. I like how it confettis this time. So it rolled a 2. It's asking you to do conditionals, but this is another situation where you could stick all the exercise in an array called exercise, then do console. I mean, I could try it. Let me try writing that version out. So like, let random number equal 0, 1, 2, sorry, oh my god, 2, 3, right? Like that. And then let random number equals 0, 1, 2, 3. No, we still have to do, I'm trying to think right now. We still have to do the conditionals, right? I'm trying to remember how to pull the array. Oh, okay, sorry. That makes, okay, no. I get it. I think. Exercises. 10 push-ups. 10 sit-ups. Sorry, I misread. my brain jumped the gun. 10 squats, right? And 10 jumping jacks. Sorry, I used the wrong one. I always like to use the same one. Or at least try to keep it consistent. So we have 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 squats, 10 jumping jacks. And then we use the mat. We do it the other way. Exercise. Console log exercise, which is the array. And then do math floor. Math random with the parentheses in it, and then you do times 4. Did I put too many parentheses in there? No, that should be the right amount of parentheses because there's 1, 2, 3, and there's 1, 2, 3. Right? That works too. I'm just gonna cut that out real quick. Making a new file on my visual, and then run that. Oh, sorry, I need, wait, no. Hey, Jesse, how's it going? Hello, hello. I thought my arm tracking was, yeah, I have the array here in square brackets. Oh wait, no, do I need to put... Do I need to put this in square brackets? Put it this one? There you go. And run it again. Ooh, what kind of ice cream you got there? What was it? Was it? Did I get push-ups last time? Wait, I'll run again. I got push-ups. Squats, yippee! And that's the alternative way of doing it. Thanks, Crosskeys. I forgot that is an option to do. I did arrays first and then loops, but because I've been focusing on loops, I kind of already forgot a little bit about arrays and how you could do a much shorter version of that rather than... I mean, like, I guess this is like an alternative way to like if conditionals. No. It's I'm going to typically when it comes to video games, I don't like being backseated. But that's different. That's different. Here, I'm all about wanting to absorb and learn and repetition when it comes to coding because it's important to me. I want to really learn it. It's a good thing you reminded me that this exists because I did remember doing this once and then I forgot because I'm so... When I get told to do like something in a certain way, I kind of look towards that, the way they do it, I guess you could say. I don't think about another way how to do it, which I want to get more used to thinking of other ways you could do it that's easier. Technically speaking, this is a lot less code lines than the if statements, so so it's good that I'm being reminded of these other formats, I guess you could say. Is Codex good? Well, I literally just started using Codex IO today. So I don't have a bigger reference for you right now, but I'm enjoying the theme and the coziness of it. In terms of challenges, I just did all of the 5 conditional challenges with JavaScript. The only thing is that it's they're fun challenges. They're reminder challenges, basically, if you just want to kind of remember how to do things. They don't exactly tell you different ways to do it. Just right now, like, Crosskeys told me, like, oh, but there's another option you could do, which kind of helps remind me, again, repetition and trying to remember that there's different formats when it comes to coding. And so, like, as long as you're kind of exploring it, I think it's pretty helpful. I will say that because it seems like they want you to run a certain way, that it might reject your code, but if it still appears here and it works, then you're good. As long as you want to chalk it up. Like, for example, this one, they wanted me to do, like, the conditionals of if, but Crosskeys reminded me that you could also do it with arrays. So we did it with arrays. So you could run it, and they'll kind of give you, like, in Code Academy, we're like, oh, it's kind of like sort of an error, which they're not wrong because I'm not following their rules, but it still logged my code, which means it works. So just don't get too held up on this if you're trying to do other things outside of the challenge. So it doesn't accept every form. It definitely wants you to go a specific way with some of the challenges and whatnot. I forgot to show you guys. I thought this was really cute. I forgot to just a quick break from the codes. They have like a little mini game of their little town here, and like it has your character. I don't know how I changed my hair earlier, but I did. But it was really cute. And I think they actually have, I think you could see other people who get on if they get on and are in the little world. I thought is a really little cute thing. I think they have like actually people coming on in this little house to have like a there was like a notification for like meetings or something like that. It's so cute. Like right here, this upcoming events here. So they have something right here called Hacker House Chats. So I think they're actually gonna have like people come in and like, I don't know, have like a fireside chat or something. I don't know. This is my first time being on here, so I'm not entirely sure what it entails, but I just thought the concept is really cute. It acts as a social platform for like coders and programmers and stuff like that. So I think it's like, it's a nice resource and option. You could follow certain people if they're doing certain projects you're into and stuff like that. So let's like, for example, like this is a monthly challenge they did pixel art, and this is something they created, and I was like, that's so awesome. Gets into like, he's a computer science student, his EXP and his experience. I think it's really cool to meet other coders, other people who are learning the language. Strawberry cheesecake, yo, can I have some? Hey Nova, how's it going? Jesse, what have you been up to? What have you been playing, by the way? Let me know if I'm being more confused than helpful. I will try my best to let you know when I'm being confused, but that might be quite often. There are 2 approaches to code: dry and readable. Dry means don't repeat yourself, which means make everything compact and fast, and readable makes it easier, make it verbose, and striking a balance is good. The most compact, super efficient code in the world is bad code if you come back to it a few weeks later and go, what does this mean? I could see how that could happen. But yeah, they have and then they have like these they have this 30 nights of code that I just started today, which is really cute. It's Tamagotchi. You gotta do something with coding every day to feed your little Tamagotchi so they don't die. You get your little daily progress. It's to help keep motivation and rolling for coding. I think it's a really cute concept to keep coders, especially new beginners like me, to keep the motivation rolling and whatnot. So I love the concept that they did this here. I think it's really helpful. I think it could be helpful. And then they even have projects here. I'm a little bit scared to try, because some of these I don't really understand. So these are all the JavaScript. I do want to try to do these sometimes on stream. They obviously, and they have like, oh, this is like intermediate. This is AI, intermediate, beginning. But I'm like looking at them and I'm like, so I hit beginner and I was like, I don't even know how to at this moment, I don't even know how to imagine how to build this right now with JavaScript. So I'm just like, how do we even do that right now? So I'm just like, maybe when I feel it could be a lot simpler than I might be overthinking it, but I feel like I haven't learned enough JavaScript to know how to do these yet. So I'm just gonna not fuck with those yet. And then here you could just like, you could really build projects and just share it. I don't know. I don't know what it goes into yet. This is my first time looking into all of this. Oh, look at that. They're like, howdy, 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 howdy. So I guess you could just run your own projects in here. I don't know how well, considering how it runs a bit slow when I was doing the challenges. I'm not sure how efficient theirs work right now. But well, we'll have to mess with this another time when I actually want to figure out what my first project build I want to do with JavaScript by myself. For most part, not super by myself, but at least like I kind of want to get an idea of a project I want to do. So this might be a good place for me to do this while I'm streaming or something, and then maybe help me when I get lost, kind of thing. Literally just been watching like 4 different YouTube channels react to the substance. Oh my god, Nova. You're really into the substance movies, huh? Oh, they have p5.js. I am gonna have to play a bit. What? Did I miss it? Or is it was it in the projects, or what was I looking at? Oh no! Yo, sorry. If you be careful with some of the dots you put in the sentence, it might think that you're trying to put in a link. And so I have like, the thing is sensitive, so it might auto ban you. Oh, they have p5.js. What's this? p5.js is a JavaScript library that makes coding accessible for artists, designers, and beginners. Oh. I did not know that. Learn the fundamentals of the original library and creating interactive and colorful one-pagers. That sounds actually really fun. I might want to look into that. I do artsy-fartsy stuff every now and then. I'm not like the greatest at it, but I like doing artsy stuff. So I feel like that'd be fun. I didn't know. Cool. It's super good for learning JavaScript. Really? I might take a swing at it. Canvas stuff is cool. I don't even know what this one is. NumPy? Learn the fundamentals of data manipulation using NumPy. Learn code using NumPy with Codex for free. For free? Wait, was the other one also for free? I actually am. It's one of my top movies this year. Like I said, it was definitely one of the most interesting movies this year. I also agree with that too. I'm waiting for some of my usual movie reaction streamers to watch it now. Do you know that it's on their docket? I wonder how much of C++ they have. Okay, so they still have some coming soon exercises, but they seem to have a good amount of C++. Zero, thank you so much for the lurk. If something ends its pi, I was gonna say I assume number Python, was that what it's short for? Also, thank you for the head pats. And the hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate. I don't know if you could customize your little pixel character yet. I don't think you can. But yeah, so like, I forgot to show you guys. There's also, the website does a monthly challenge. November's is Pixel Art Challenge. I don't know if I have enough time to try to enter this. But I thought it was really cute. And they even have awards too, and they have a timer. Let me click into this. So basically, build or design, express your creativity through art form with pixel art, blah, blah, blah. Challenge themes is New Pet, which is the codes I'm doing, or a cozy fall artwork, or a pixel profile picture of yourself. Like, I will scroll down the timeline later to show you someone did like their own profile picture in pixel art. It was really cute. Here they got their guidelines, the submission, and here they got prizes. Overall winner, Apple iPad 9th generation, which I think is pretty cool. Best fall scene, custom tote bag featuring their art. Runner-ups get Codex sticker packs and whatnot. So it's like, if you're someone who likes to delve into, you know, community and this stuff like that, I feel like this is a great website. I gotta follow the person who made it. And then if you go home, I think I scrolled earlier. Like this person, they got a bear for theirs. How cute. And like I said, this is their, oh! Wait, I was gonna say, is that Exolotl? I can't tell if it's an Exolotl. It looked like an Exolotl at first. It is an Exolotl, okay. Aw, new pet monthly challenge submission. They made do you get extra points if you make it into a GIF? So this is really cute. Look, this person, these are like really freaking great pixel art submissions. Like that's the one I saw. I was like, they're really adorable. I like seeing people's work. See, like, so this one for November 21st, they have the hacker house chat. Former head of data at Be Real and Twitter will be, I guess, in their little community hacker house thing, and I guess just have like what Q&As and stuff like that. Also, you want a cat pop? Okay, hold on. Thank you for the cat pop, Zero. Most of them are horror movie watchers, so it's very likely it's on. Oh, okay. It was a highly rated movie. If it says stuff about Pi, it's Python. If it has stuff about gems or precious stones, it's probably Ruby. Oh, I've heard of Ruby. It sounds industrial and includes the word creative. It has something to do with Rust. I love the associations with like the origins. Kohi. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Kohi. Thank you. I was gonna say, I won't be having a stream this Saturday as I'll be going out to touch some grass. We're gonna enjoy the nice cool weather and go to the parks and stuff like that. Hopefully it's not too cold, but we do want to go out to like go on parks or hikes and stuff like that. We keep pushing it off. Cake, is it cake? I'm not crazy, right? I know it's cake, and then I don't know, is cake what yes, or if the what yes is supposed to be more together. But thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Oh, this one's cute. I love the kitty cat and the pumpkin and the autumn leaves tree. I'm not that good at pixel art, but I want to try a bite panda. I mean, I'm a red panda. It's kind of close. Maybe I should just, you know, put in a submission for fun. Oh my god, look, Nova! Frog meow. It's a frog. It's cute. Cute little frog pixel. I will see if I could fit time to make some kind of submission. Oh, it's a bumblebee. I think this site is very fun. I think it keeps coding very fun. So if you feel like coding gets a little bit monotonous or boring, this site could like bring it back to like make it fun again for you if you feel like you need to. I like it a lot. It's a really cozy website. I love the concept of it. So I definitely will be using this in my like supplement of learning coding, whatever coding I'm learning at the time. And I'm sure they'll be adding obviously more content. But just to reiterate, they do have a membership, you know, if you want more access to certain things, they do have memberships and stuff like that, if that's something you're willing to invest in. I am not yet going to decide if I want to do a membership yet, mostly because I already have membership with other things right now that I want to work on. So I'll probably, if I already use up all their free stuff, I'll see then if I want to use their membership and whatnot. If you want to combine pixel art and experimenting with coding, you should look into Pico 8. Ooh, I don't think I've heard of that. Pico 8. Virtual machine game engine created by Fantasy. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I'll definitely have to look. I need to bookmark that. I feel like that might be one of like the more simpler ways of starting when it comes to coding and developing things. Did someone make a website of the KFC menu? It's finger looking good. That's cute. Oh my gosh. Aw, look. It's my first project as a beginner. Excited to share with you. Rock, paper, scissors. Like, I really need to at least do small projects just so I could feel like I'm progressing somewhere. Like I said, I wanted to make a website and do like those questionnaires that you guys see that you like to take. Like, all those like, oh, what kind of mystical creature are you? Oh, all those stuff like that. I want to do something like that, but pretty decently in depth too at the same time. That's something I definitely want to actually try to do. But I gotta hope my CSS and my HTML might be a little bit rusty because I haven't dipped in it in a little bit, so. But I would like to try. So that way I can start posting projects and stuff like that. Oops. Challenges. Let's go back. I was gonna say. This, I'm actually probably gonna call it for tonight. Tonight's gonna be a little bit of a short stream. I got some other chores I need to catch up on tonight before tomorrow, but I will be working from home tomorrow, and I'm gonna see if I could do a stream tomorrow since I'm not streaming on on Saturday. But no promises. We'll see how the day goes, because sometimes the day could just turn sideways for me, and then I just need like a full decompressing time. But I do think this is where I'm gonna end for my tonight's stream. I don't even know what my next stream is going to be. I don't know if we'll play games or if we might do more coding. Might do games, maybe to finish off some of the games I haven't finished off, like the Sad Kitty one. Crosskeys, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you helping me get through my coding journey. I really do. It's been enjoyable, and I like the reminders of, you know, the different formats that I need to kind of keep in mind that exist. So I appreciate your inputs. It's a virtual games console that's sort of like NES. The dev kit is a scripting engine and an art editor and a little music sequencer to make little games. So you could code in LUA, but it's very similar to JS. Ooh, I definitely want to take a look at it then. No, don't worry about it. I am a yapper myself, and I'm pretty sure I yap off my Riesling's ears all the time. But I just can't yap about coding because I'm a novice at it, so. Just don't take any of my like blank okays or like as like boring as you boring or anything. It just might be my lack of understanding more so, and I don't know what else to say. So I just want to make sure nobody confuses. I feel bad when I don't have any more things to elaborate to say or yap about. And it's literally only because I may not understand your statement or what exactly we're talking about. So my brain just kind of like does dial-up sounds. But oops, sorry, wrong one. Big right. We're gonna do big right today. But yeah. So I will try to let you guys know on Discord or on definitely on Twitter typically, but I always update on Discord and Twitter whether or not I'm gonna be streaming that evening. So just kind of keep a lookout for that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's stream. I hope you enjoyed the cozy coding, whether or not you are coding yourself, whether or not you are studying, anything else. I just hope you enjoyed your time here in my stream. I appreciate y'all just kind of hanging out with me, learning coding. Even if it means you could probably smell the toast coming from my head every now and then. Yeah, you guys have a lovely rest of your evening. We are going to do a raid real quick if you want to stick around for the raid. If you don't, that's totally fair. But if you do want to stick around for the raid, feel free to use any raid message that is available to you. Whether it's my subs or if it's the Twitch one. I need to find who to raid right now. More relaxing coding stream. You want more relaxing coding stream? I don't mind doing some more relaxing coding stream. It'll help me on my journey of being a developer, so I don't mind adding more to that. Oh my god, is Jax online? I rarely get to see him. Let's raid him. I haven't got to talk to him in a while. He usually streams early morning. Like, he's wakes up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym and shit like that and stream kind of person. So I rarely get to raid him, so let's go give him a lovely raid. I think he's playing some horror games right now. I do need to find some more, I would like to find some more coder streamers though and stuff like that. Those I could, when I do these streams, I go raid them instead. But I gotta go lurk around and find them perhaps. Or maybe some mutuals I might be coding. But for now, we'll go raid Jax until I find some more mutuals that also are coding or studying. But yeah, thank you again, guys, for hanging out. You guys stay safe, stay hydrated. I'll talk to you on Discord or Twitter, and perhaps see you in tomorrow's stream.